Salutations, traveller! Anifile is back with another anime for you to get enthralled in. Well, it's a new anime, but not new. I've actually already reviewed it on anifilereviews.com, the place where I do my written and audio reviews on anime. And also some video reviews too. I'm actually going back on this anime for a reason. It's not often I lavish this much attention on an anime, but I feel like I have to. It's really been underlooked, and also I got a lot of requests from it, from fans and patrons and everybody, to actually do a video one and actually give it proper justice. So I'm doing it. What's this anime, you ask? Well, the last remnants of humanity are escaping an evil space goo / mind I don't know, but it's a really powerful story, and it's about containment, bleakness. Think Galactica and Attack on Titan, and then you're there. It's up to the Knights of Sidonia to save the last bits of humanity and bring joy to my heart. Knights of Sidonia first started out as a manga written by Tsutomu Nihei in 2009 and began publication in Kodansha's monthly afternoon magazine. Nearly 5 years after its first issue, Polygon Pictures, the show's animation house, has taken on the task of bringing Nihei's space opera to life with a rarely seen 3D style, which they have also used on the series Tron Uprising in 2012. Sidonia is actually Nihei's first serial to be animated for full syndication, following the success of his immensely popular manga series Blame, which is still being published alongside the title we are looking at today. This anime is different in that it uses actually 3D technology, but yet it uses a 2D cel-shaded style in which to keep the anime feel alive. So, it's that feeling that we all know and love, and ship. So, before we begin, I'm going to thank every single patron that I have over on patreon.com/MasakoX. Their generosity and help has really brought Anifile back to the people. So, I've got a list here, because there's a really long list. Thank you Philida, Alex, Charles, Dawn, Josh, First, James, Jake, Matthew, Malcolm, Brandon, Mahan, Tater, Ryan, Varty, Aeon, Veronica, Anthony, Eric, Sean, Alex W, Jack D, Alex S, Alicia, and Luke! You guys are awesome. Now, with those people behind us, let's jet off into space and play some Knights of Sidonia on that tape. You know what to do. Our first shot is a solitary mech and its pilot in its battle with a... Ah! Oh god! What the hell is that? Yeah, this is the Gauner. And no, it's not a squid, and no tentacle action happens here. What does happen is that it gets a spear right in the face! Or so we think. What we actually saw was a game piloted by a young guy on an empty stomach. He was hungry. Hungry for a can of whoop-ass. Delicious violence. This boy is Nagate Tanikaze, a boy who is on the search for food and stumbles upon a huge vat of the stuff, and then falls into one. Ouch. Guards spot him, but he escapes with his life. His exploits are the talk of Sidonia, except for one broody chap, Norio Kunato. He's the angry Bishonen of the series. Look, listen, he's just going to do his backstory right here. Norio is recounting the Sugimori mech tech, which looks familiar to the one that Nagate was piloting earlier, and spouts his dream of protecting Sidonia from the Gauner threat with that frame, to no one in particular. Whoever will listen. I hope that one day I will use this frame to protect Sidonia from the Gauner menace. It means so much to me. Look at me stare at it.
Your hair is nice.
We then cut to a bunch of head-bobbing masks as they discuss with a masked woman about Nagate and his appearance, and his relation to a man named Hiroki, who is his grandfather, by using his remains as evidence.
Gentlemen, we can tell that this is his grandfather, because he is really old and dead, and he smells of prune juice.
Brilliant deduction, Jimmy! Look at me roll in happiness!
Outside the main building, protesters claim that there is no war and that the leaders we saw earlier are using the campaign as a front to plough assets into making them live longer. Before we delve deep into this, Nagate arrives on the scene. Talk about a smashing entrance! After his pratfall, Nagate wakes up to find a girl at his bedside named Hoshijiro, and then an official who reveals that Nagate is an unknown on their system, and clearly his hunger bothers the guy. Then an officer arrives and escorts Nagate away with food as bait. He is led to a chamber where Captain Kobayashi, who quickly demasks, quickly accepts his presence, and demands that he becomes a goddess pilot. Turns out his skills were useful after all. Gaming is good! Now if you'll excuse me, I want to become a brain surgeon, so I'm going to play some Surgeon Simulator. Be right back. It's not working! Help! Bear Cook! With a whisk for a hand! Yeah, got nothing else to say. Awesome. Nagate later introduces himself to his class, and soon a girl presents herself to him. Her name is Izana, or she's not yet a girl. She's a third gender who changes traits depending on their partner. That is but one of humanity's evolutions in their time on Sidonia. They walk to the simulators and Nagate soon wants to prove his skills. Oh, here we go. The newcomer comes in and shows off his skills as usual. Oh, not even close. Tough break, but oddly refreshing. He laments that this is because the model used in this sim was the later mech type, not the one he used down in the slums. Oh, come on, Nagate, don't blame the tools, or your broken hand. Sissy. We get a class/exposition dump on the Gauner race. Their makeup, how to kill it, and that it's not a Titan. Yeah, I went there. Attack on Titan is a lot like this at this point. But in space! I'm going to explain more later, so hang in there. I've got more on this. Norio broods at the Sugimori mech. Or he would if it was there. He is pissed! When isn't he? Nagate and Hoshijiro are then sent out on their first mission, a mining expedition as a test of his and the trainees' abilities. Nagate then spots that the Sugimori, his training frame, is the frame he'll use, and Norio gets even angrier. What a surprise. We then get a really cool launch sequence before the mechs head for the moon. They're about to mine. But things go quickly wrong as a Gauner appears from underground and immediately takes out some of the trainees and Nagate with them. He's unconscious and nearly dead. Kobayashi is unmoved, I think. For all we know, she could be pulling a face like this. We get a brief shot of the Gauner before we cut to the episode end. Wow, that was really intense. And pretty. Knights of Sidonia is a tour de force in the way in which anime is going in terms of the visual aesthetic. The 3D style is used expertly on the whole, despite a few glitches and frame drops at first, but as the show continues, the animation improves and flows much better. Nagate is a little formulaic in that he uses the undiscovered prodigy angle here to save the world, and anger pretty boys everywhere, and excite girls everywhere. Nevertheless, he is a likable guy. Izana's place in the story is interesting and endearing. She, I use she because that's the angle that the producers are going for, is close to Nagate, and despite other characters flinging themselves at him, she stands firm and has a strong character. From early on, the show is clearly meant to be a cross between Attack on Titan and Battlestar Galactica, in that it is a bleak tale set in the middle of deep space with a threat that is supposedly set on destroying humanity, and then shows itself after 100 years of peace. The parallels are there. Now don't think that this is copying Attack on Titan. Knights of Sidonia was actually made 5 months before Attack on Titan, so actually, the real reason why these are so similar, and they came out roughly at a certain time, is because that's what producers are looking for these days. Anime with an apocalyptic setting with big monsters destroying humanity. So, don't blame the people and say Knights of Sidonia is going, that's a copying Attack on Titan! No, it's not doing that. So why do I like this show? I love it because it changes all the time. With each episode, you don't know what's going to happen. People that you think are going to be doing this actually do that. Or otherwise, people you think you're going to get to know, no! Things happen. I'm not going to say, but episode 6, man. Episode 6, I really did not expect that. And that actually really made me think about putting this in my top 10. Maybe my top 2. Is Nadesico at risk? We'll have to wait and see. So on that amazing bombshell, we have to end. Until next time, guys. Catch you later.
I would just like to say a special thank you to all my Patreon backers out there. With your support, Anifile is now back in business. Thank you once again.